K-pop fever is upon us. It started with haircuts. Then everyone started to dress really, really cool. Now the infection has mutated to where everyone is synchronized dancing to death. Hordes of people continually dancing over sweaty dead corpses. But at least everyone looks really hot. A small group of people have survived, including our 2 guests and of course our favourite chef, Bobby Flay, who will cook them one final meal. Our guests are Earth's last hope and will be shot into space on a potentially endless journey in the hopes there is a haven out there somewhere. They must choose one movie, TV series, and album between them to take on their journey. This week, our guests are Kitt and Melissa.
Woo!
And I'm joined with Kayla, the co-host.
Woohoo! Melissa and Kitt, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
Hi. We just want to know, how did you survive this horrible apocalypse?
I don't listen to music. Yeah, literally, I was just, only talk radio and then just YouTube and no music on YouTube. And, all music on YouTube gets copy striked on all the videos. So, yeah, there's no music on there.
I just outdanced everyone. I was dancing on the dead bodies.
I don't think I was there for that.
Awesome. So this is a new question that we've been asking our guests.
Yeah,
since last week. And we want to know, you're boarding the spaceship, your life is flashing before your eyes. What is your best memory on Earth that you want to take with you into space?
I have a hard time picking between 2 memories, but one memory includes Kitt, so I'll pick that one.
Thank God.
but he's there.
Oh no, but this one still tops.
Oh,
This is just like the best meal memory of my life, and I love food. And so we went to Bar Harbor a couple of years ago with our whole family, and it was like the best vacation ever. And the last night we were there at sunset, we had dinner like right on the pier, and it was like whole lobster, and all his little muscle friends were there, and I ate them all. And then there was blueberry pie, and it was just like the sun was setting, and it was like, you know how families are, they're kind of shitty, so like everybody was kind of sick of each other, but only the people who really wanted to have a good time went, and we had a really good time.
Oh, yeah, that was a great
And it was just, I just think about it all the time.
What about you, Kitt?
My best memory? Okay, so I picked this, and it's cheesy and corny, and of course, when people are married, of course they're going to pick this one. Mm-hmm. So what I'm standing there next to my priestess, and then Melissa steps up at the top of the stairs, and the clouds part, and the sun falls down on Melissa as she walks down, and that I'll always remember that moment. Anytime I'm on Earth and being like, oh no, my whole Earth sucks, and is destroyed. I have to leave.
I was told by multiple wedding guests that actually happened.
That did happen.
It wasn't just his loving eyes that saw
that. That's not rose-tinted glasses there. That's for real.
Oh my God.
For real, not faux play.
I don't think we need to clarify, but Melissa and Kitt are married. How long have you guys been married?
4 years this month.
That's so amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you guys want to tell us how you guys met and your relationship thus far?
On the internet.
Yeah. On OkCupid, he messaged me first, and he was
Love
like,
at first text.
this is actually exactly what he said. I think that our ideals and views on the world might align.
Did I really?
And it worked really hard.
Oh, man,
I was like,
Sexy.
Which also they don't.
Yeah, they
Very
don't.
different
They don't.
ideals and views on
That's
the
why I'm
world.
surprised. I don't remember the first message. I remember that Mother Crane hates me because of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The matriarch of my family is my grandmother, a.k.a. Mother Crane, and she hates Kitt. And
Because
it's sad.
we met online. No, I think she likes me more
Yeah,
now because
they
we are
warmed up
alike.
now.
We are a lot alike, Mother Crane and I.
Oh.
She sounds like a villainess. Mother
Yeah.
Queen.
She hates because you guys met online, or she hates because of that first message?
Because we met
The
online,
thing.
we weren't going to tell her that we met
Yeah,
online,
we were
but
gonna
my
tell our
sister
mutual
spilled
friends
the
or something.
beans.
I
Fool if I
understand
took-
that, but literally everyone we know has pretty much met online.
Literally, we've met on, Matthew and I met online. Amanda and her boyfriend met
Several,
online.
yeah.
Allie and her boyfriend met online. Like, everyone I know now is met online. It's just the new way to meet people, isn't it?
Yeah. Old people just don't know about meeting online.
Yeah, that's the
They
thing.
don't.
Mother cranes don't know about meeting online.
Well, and it was really scary at first. You know,
Yeah.
like, there were
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
like horror
And when-
stories of that.
Yeah, and when you guys met, I mean, that was like 4 years ago when you guys got married. So you guys met.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago.
So that was like
Oh,
right
yeah.
when, that was like before Tinder was a thing, really.
Yeah, a little
So-
bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
That could have been fresh. Yeah, you don't know you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could get murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Could
wake
have
up
really
in a...
good sex.
Yeah.
Or
Both
in between.
happened with us.
They murdered someone and had
No,
on the court.
Matthew, he murdered the pussy. All right, so moving on.
That's the most grotesque this podcast.
What is your worst memory on Earth? Like, what is the thing that you would just leave behind and never talk about again, never think about again? Most embarrassing, awful memory.
I'm like really weird in that the things that should embarrass people do not embarrass me. Like so many actual stupid things that I do, and I'm just like, oh well. But probably like I have really weird things that freak me out. So what I hope I could leave behind is like this weird paper towel phobia I have. Like I need so many paper towels when I'm eating, and I get so scared like everyone's judging my growing pile of paper towels. And I use like 7 at least per meal.
Do you need like a new one every time you use?
Yeah,
one
it's
of
like
mine?
yeah, it's like I just get so dirty that one use is all that works.
I don't judge you, love.
Thanks.
You're very fortunate. No paper towels on the spaceship. None at all.
Thank God.
So you have to wipe them on Kitt. Wipe your hands on Kitt.
Kitt, what about you?
Most embarrassing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me tell you guys a story about nursing school. So this one time, there was a hat, and all of our names got put in it, and the nursing teacher, and you know, in nursing school, your nursing teacher is kind of also like a cruel mistress above you, especially when you're a guy, because she really wants to put you through the ringer and make sure that you physically and like mentally and nursily be able to do all of the things that you have to do as a nurse.
Yeah.
So everybody's names are in a hat. And we're gonna do a catheter on an old lady because you know, hey, you gotta do catheters every now and then before surgery, especially. So I'm thinking the whole time she's like, "Oh, I've got these names in this hat," and she's like rummaging through them. I'm like, "Motherfucker's probably written every one of these things have my name on it." And inevitably, of course, she pulls it up, and before she even knows it, I'm standing at the front of the crowd. I'm like, "It's me, ain't it?" She's like, "Kitt," and I'm like, "Yes, it's me. Let's do it." So I get in there. I have my kit ready, and it's this sweet old lady, and it's this family, and I'm like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna put a catheter in there." They're like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna put this in before surgery, and so it collects the urine while she's unconscious." And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna leave." So they GTFO'd real fast. So then the old lady's kind of giving me the eye, like, and I'm weirded out because this is like the first time I'm doing this, and it's also the first time I'm doing this on a woman, and it's all the first time I'm doing this on an 86-year-old woman. So then I get down there, and to make this really long story slightly shorter, I get my field set up, and I'm like, I have my hand, and I put my hand on her old 86-year-old vagina, and let me tell you, it doesn't look terrible. It's not awful, you guys. I'm not like, ugh. It's just regular. I'm going there. I'm professional. I'm straight-faced. I'm probably red in the face. I'm a little embarrassed because I'm thinking she's embarrassed. So I'm like, I'm looking around, and my nursing teacher is standing next to me, watching, judging. And I'm like, nursing teacher, I can't find the urinary meatus. And she's like, I think you're close right there, David. And I'm like, that's the vaginal opening. She's like, she looks at me deep in my eyes, and she goes, no, that's the urinary meatus. And I was like, and she's like, she's 86. And I was like, okay. So then I get my tube in there, and I've been like touching on her for a minute, like a lot, just trying to get this done. I'm just trying to figure it out, okay? I'm learning. And then I get it all done. I clean the stuff up. I attach it to her. I write all my stuff down. I look up. I'm like, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. And she gives me like this big smile. I think I made this old lady come. And I think about that memory sometimes. And I'm like, oh, this is such a funny story to tell at parties. But then I'm like, no. You kind of molested this lady, and you kind of didn't, because she was pretty happy about it. But that makes me feel. But I turned like beet red right after that. And I was like, thank you, man, bye.
Yeah, and you were not intentionally. Like, you were literally just trying to do your job.
And I did it good. Yeah. Like the urine returned, and it worked out. Okay, it's set up.
It just took him a minute.
It took me a minute
to find.
And when you're old, I just imagine nobody's touching up on you a lot. So
I think that's the story to be beaten.
Yeah.
Top that.
It was pretty embarrassing, but also, I mean, like not embarrassing enough not to tell on a podcast.
Yeah. So funny. So
I don't know if I'm just end the podcast there.
Boom, done. Cut.
even if you get none of your choices picked tonight, Kitt, you won with that story.
Made it into the annals.
So moving into the first choice, your movie choices. Who wants to go first with their movie choice?
I really want Melissa to go first.
All right, Melissa.
I just got so scared, like I forgot.
Oh God.
What was my pick? Princess Mononoke.
So why?
Well, first, like, me and Kendra have never heard of that.
Yeah.
Tell people what
I
that
can't
is.
believe you've not
Yeah.
heard of that.
Are you familiar with Miyazaki movies?
Yes, that's the one I was talking to you about earlier that I was very poorly describing. I'm pretty sure that's the same.
Okay, Princess Mononoke is like an anime movie, and I mean, I've only watched the dubbed version, and so in the dubbed version, it's like super awesome actors, like Billy Bob Thornton and Claire Danes do voices in it.
Yeah.
And it's
Claire
basically about a prince from like a small forest village that gets cursed by like a boar demon of the spirit. And okay, without trying to like spoil the movie, basically humans are like destroying the forest, and the forest spirits are angry, and so the prince has to like, I gotta go figure this out, or I'm gonna become a demon. And he meets Princess Mononoke, who was raised by wolves, and she's like a protector of the forest and the forest demons. So they're like these giant versions of animals. So like her wolves that raised her like giant versions of animals, and there's really cool forest spirits, and it's just like, I feel like it has a lot of elements of like what it's about to be human, and then even though the world isn't ending for environmental reasons, it's a really good reminder to be good to the environment.
For the record, when she said that, I flopped all around on my chair, and I was just blown away by, there was like a powerful wind. And I was like one of those little, what are they called? Kodomos? Or,
Yeah, they're like little forest spirits
yeah,
that are
they're
like...
like clicking around in the bushes when the... I felt like that.
And part of the reason I picked that is I first watched that movie when I was like in 4th grade, and it was the first anime I ever saw, and you guys are going to learn that we are huge nerds and huge anime nerds.
Love anime.
And I was so obsessed with it. I watched it every night. We had it rented, and then I got it for Christmas, and then I just watched it all the time, and it was just like, it spoke to me in a way a movie had never spoken to me before.
I watched a lot of anime as a young lad, and I saw that movie too in a similar way. I rented it one time and then watched it all weekend that weekend at my grandfather's house, and it was just amazing, and I fell in love.
This seems like you're going to get one over pretty easily then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to say mine because I feel like it's a good pick, and I'm at least going to get my licks in here on this because I can definitely agree with Princess Mononoke. But so my pick, I would take Seven Samurai.
I knew he was going to pick that.
Maybe because I mentioned it before, but Seven Samurai is a film that I think, like, if I had to take a piece of media and I'm going on this mysterious journey into space, I'm assuming, and I have hope in my heart, that I'm going to meet some aliens and we're going to figure this out. Maybe they're going to help us be like, oh, you poor little stupid monkeys from Earth. Can we really help you out? Let me give you a little preserve. And like, it's basically a zoo, but we just don't know that.
Yeah.
So, we're going to hang out and we're going to rebuild civilization. We're going to figure it out, okay? And I feel like if you're going to take a movie, you're going to take Seven Samurai. Because it can show humans, or it can show aliens, same thing. Humans can be really terrible bandits. We can be simple. We can be like, connected and centered and rural and farmers. And we can also be courageous heroes.
So tell us about this movie, because I'm not very familiar with it either.
Oh, really? This is a classic. Seven Samurai, it used to be in the Criterion Collection. This is when I watched it, back when it was on Hulu and stuff. And it is like a 4-hour long, black and white, old Japanese language film that's about this village of like Japanese farmers who bandits come and they're like, we're going to come back here and we're going to take all of your crops in a year. So you better get all that shit ready or get ready to get slaughtered. Peace out. And then all of the farmers are like, oh shit, what are we going to do? If they take all of our food, we'll starve to death in the winter. And so either way, they're dead.
Yeah.
So they start gathering up all their silver and gold pieces, and they go find themselves a few samurai in the nearest big village. And then that kind of snowballs eventually into them getting up 7 samurai, and these 7 samurai train the villagers, and they repel the attack against the bandits. And it's really like, it's kind of beautiful, all of the men coming together, especially the samurai, and like teaching the villagers. And even though like a lot of people still get killed, like, they fight back fiercely. They defend what's important. Family, village, community, that kind of thing. It's inspiring. If I had to build a civilization,
Sounds
I'd
like
build
a
it
good
on
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear of like great directors talk about favorite films, Seven Samurai is usually
One of
something
the...
they name drop.
Yeah, we're just a bit ignorant, aren't we?
No, I've heard of that. I've just never seen it.
You guys got to pick it up. It's a good one.
No, I want to watch both of these. You
Yeah.
described them really well. So.
One thing that when I listened to the other episodes of the podcast that surprised me about the guests is that I didn't feel like anyone like considered that this is the last remaining human art that we will be taking with us, and I feel like I wanted that to be a part of my answers. Like, I want it to be a representative of the human race. And
I think with Norma and Jaime, they did that with Anthony Bourdain because they chose like that showcases different parts of culture from all over the world.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great answer, and like the fact that you've picked up on that.
Yeah, both of you pointed that out. Yeah.
If I was to do this, that would influence me greatly. I think, and they're 2 really good answers.
Yeah.
So
So
now you've got to come to a decision between you which one's going to win.
This is easy. I can definitely compromise to Princess Mononoke.
There you go.
Same.
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we locking it in? Once you lock it in, you cannot go back and change it. So a lot of people like to discuss their TV choice first and then decide. But if you guys are happy with that choice, we can lock it in and move on.
Yeah, put it in the vault. Put it in the ship.
I think we lock it in because I feel like this is probably the only thing Kitt and I can agree on when it comes to movies.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we're locking it in.
To the TV series.
All right. Do you want to go first again, or
Melissa
you wanna
needs to go first
Kit?
on all of them, actually.
Okay.
My pick is Parks and Recreation, which I cannot believe is still available. Craziness. And
There's only been 3.
Yeah.
should have been gone on the first one.
The Office is still out for grabs as well, which we're surprised about.
Really?
Yeah.
That is crazy. I choose Parks and Recreation for once again, I think it is a good example of like human nature. I think the characters are like just shitty enough, but also super lovable and relatable. And like, I won't get too far into it, but also Kitt and I got engaged while watching Parks and Recreation.
I was about to say, this is a low blow. This is a sucker punch. It takes priority, and you deal me a lot of damage.
You can't say no now.
Yeah, I can't say no. We got married to that one. Oof.
Kit, don't
I
back
almost
down.
picked it myself.
Don't back down.
Yeah. When it's your turn, imagine she didn't say that.
And then just defend your
To
choice.
discuss Parks and Rec more, I would say that all the characters are very human, and I also think it captures like a time in our democracy, kind of like right before it went like crazy stupid.
Yeah.
Television is awful, and it's ruined us all.
Yeah.
And then the internet ruined us even further. But I feel like it's like innocent. The show is like innocent. It's innocent right before we knew we could be worse or we could be better, you know. So it's really nice, and the characters, the main characters, like their romance, it's a lot like ours. It's funny. It's real, familial.
So
We're cousins, actually. That's
Oh
why.
my God, Melissa!
No,
She
we're
told
not.
that joke in San Francisco too. It got a lot of laughs. It was on a tour bus.
that's really
They're
good.
accepted in San Francisco, so that's the good place
Yeah.
to say it. It's probably accepting here as well, to be fair, because everyone's married to their cousin.
If you haven't been to Atlanta, everyone's married.
tell us more about how you guys got engaged watching Parks and Rec. Like, how did that happen?
Let me tell it. I want to tell it. Okay. So, Melissa, what episode were we watching? Now you have to say something.
It was the episode where they go to Paris.
Yes. So, we're watching this episode go to Paris, and I think it's around the point where Ben and Leslie, they lock a lock around the fence, and Melissa looks over to me and she goes, "When are we going to get married?" And unbeknownst to Melissa, weeks prior, I had went to my grandmother's, and I had picked up the ring that my grandfather, who I call Pop, used to engage his marriage. So I had that ring. I had it cleaned up and everything, and I had it like stored away in the room. And I heard those words, and I was like, I went and grabbed the box, and I looked over, and I got on one knee, and I said, "How about right now?"
I'm gonna cry.
But then also, like, I really wasn't expecting that, and I was like,
you're like, I'm in the distant future.
but
Like when? Like 7 years?
of course I accepted, and my sisters were super pissed because he had been planning an elaborate proposal for my graduation party.
But she literally said, and I'm not joking, I remember this very clearly, a week before, I wouldn't want anything so elaborate and big like that in front of everyone. And I was like, oh shit, I planned this. Ooh, and I was like wiping the sweat off my forehead.
And then the perfect moment happened.
Yes.
Aw, that's so romantic.
Yeah.
Aw, I love that
That's
story.
that's a good job.
Yeah. So, Kitt, what's your TV show?
30 Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah, 30 Rock. Melissa might even crumple to
That's
this one.
tough. I do love 30
30 Rock is really good. I think it showed, like, if you're going to build your society on your first piece of movie, in my mind, being Seven Samurai, what's the next thing? Because the first thing has no humor in it, well, except for, like, one or two characters.
But I remember your movie is not Seven Samurai.
Yeah, it got
But
Princess
it's also
Mononoke.
not really funny. It's pretty serious.
Princess Mononoke, not a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Mostly serious. It's going to touch you on your heart.
Yeah.
But 30 Rock is going to touch you on your funny bone. Hey!
But Parks and Rec is also funny. So.
Yeah, they're both comedies, but I think 30 Rock, it really is like, if you have to pick a city in human history that was doing really good and everybody loved it and wanted to go there, I feel like it would be New York City.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody wants to visit New York. Everybody wants to see the monuments. It's like it's freedom. It represents so much to so many people. You can make it. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
If you're a British person, the first place you'd ever go in America is New York.
If you're
Really?
any foreign person, I feel like any foreign person, the first place they want to
because
visit.
it's the closest,
Not even
so it's the
Hollywood? Not even
cheapest.
Los Angeles?
No.
No, really?
New York, yeah.
Always New York.
Always New York.
Wow. Well, I mean, my family is all, I got a little connection to New York too, and I feel like when I see 30 Rock and like the characters on 30 Rock, they're kind of assholes, like my family is assholes sometimes. And it's kind of funny,
Yeah,
you know.
It's all New
That
Yorkers.
it's
That's
really
why I love it.
it's dry.
It's like
It's that
England.
sense of humor. It really is. It's like an English
Everyone's a
sense of
dickhead.
humor. Everyone is total cunts. But you kind of get along through it,
Yeah.
and it's very funny. It has like some just off-color jokes that I really enjoy, but all the characters are really relatable too.
I think there comes a time in everyone's life where they have to pick between Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
Yeah,
Yes.
it really does.
How do you choose?
I mean, I will go with Parks and Recreation. I have to concede once again because my wife has sucker punched me and taken the low blow. I did propose to the show, okay? So, nobody be like, oh,
Yeah, so you must like it.
what a pussy. No,
We're
I love my
gonna-
wife.
We'll just memorize some scenes from 30 Rock and we'll act them out on a spaceship.
There you go.
Wow. So again, I think we're locking in the choice.
Locked
Parks and Rec locked in. Those are good choices, guys. So now this one was one you said before was going to be the point of contention, which is the music. Oh no, you said it would be the least point of contention because
I don't
Kitt
listen
doesn't
to
really
music.
listen to music.
I mean, Listen, on some level I do, so it's going to come out. I'm going to talk about some bands, and then we're going to go with whatever Melissa picked. Maybe.
I'm going to go
three
second.
For three.
Yeah, I can't.
lost
You
three,
can't
you know.
3 for 3
He
me.
will pick this. He will pick my pick.
Okay.
Will I? Are
Okay.
you? Will I?
All right,
Yes.
Kit. I think you should go
Kit,
first.
This
This one.
just
I should go first.
this podcast just shows how devoted you are to your wife. So this is a
I love
go.
my wife. I
There
do
you
love
go.
my wife.
Yeah.
every time she gets mad at you, just play this episode.
I was going to pick originally, like thinking about this, I was like, oh man, what could I pick? And I was like, Michael, help me. Michael can't help me anymore, y'all. Michael can't help us anymore. And it's just such a terrible thing in the world. And I just want to say, clown world, everything is confused and terrible now. But you know, we're going to make it. We're going to make it without Michael.
Here's the thing though, the aliens won't know that he's a paedophile. As
Oh
long
my
as
God.
you don't tell them.
Hold on.
That's a game changer.
Don't do that to me. Listen, I wanted to go with Thriller, but I will go instead with Mountain Goat's album, Tallahassee.
Oh, curveball there.
Yeah, Curveball. It turns out I listened to one musical group, the Mountain Goats, all of their albums obsessively, and I cry a lot.
I'm not sure if this is just me or everyone who's ever listened to this, but who the fuck are the Mountain Goats? What is that?
It's not just you.
If you don't know about the Mountain Goats,
Is it literal goats?
no,
Or-
it's not literal goats. It's a guy.
Just
I think they're in North Carolina though, but they started out in California, and they were like the main guy was into drugs a while ago. And I'm not gonna tell anybody out there that I know shit about fucking anything music related. I don't. I mostly like their music a lot because I feel like it touches a chord in you that it's very emotional, and it's, you know, sometimes when you're a guy, you listen to a lot of music and you're like, yeah, I want music that, you know, pumps me up. I want music that unites me with other people, or, you know, I want music that, you know, gets me, you know, chill. But I think there's something to be said for music that can do all of those things, but it can also touch a chord in you as a man that is kind of like deeply vulnerable. That might have, like, you know, it might be negative. It might be a negative thing sometimes. Like, you might be addicted to something, but you can overcome that as a person, and you can overcome your past.
So that was a very, very good answer for somebody who doesn't like music. So I was really surprised by that.
I was going to say, I don't know, Carly Rae Jepsen.
UB40. All right, Melissa.
Are you ready for this? Because you're about to get beat the fuck out.
Am I really again?
This is 3 for 3. This is a clean sweep.
I hope she doesn't do this. I hope she doesn't 3-0 me and everybody thinks I'm a wuss.
I pick the soundtrack to the anime series Trigun. He can't refuse me.
You're a monster. I can't believe I listened to that soundtrack as a young lad mowing lawns for 2 summers.
Okay, background on both the anime and the choice. The anime is a 1-season only anime, which, for you non-animators, the best animes are only 1 season.
They really are.
And it is about basically like, it's a space western where this guy, Vash the Stampede, who has literal guns for arms. He's just a good guy that wants to help humans, but every time he does, he blows up the whole town.
It sounds like a Family Guy skit.
And he just wants to protect everybody, but they think
my God.
that he's tearing apart their towns.
That's a great pick.
And I think that a soundtrack makes sense because I feel like you get more moods and more tones of music.
Yeah.
It's also like mostly instrumental, but when it's not, it's Japanese. So also you're not gonna get tired of the lyrics because I won't understand them.
Yeah.
I did that. I pondered that the other day. I was like, if I were to do this, should I choose something that had lyrics in it, because you'd get bored of the
You'd
lyrics.
get so over
I
it.
was thinking about an
You
instrumental.
almost
Yeah.
need like not elevator music,
kinda.
but like that background
Just
music.
background music, yeah.
And the music itself is like jazz metal. It's like a really weird music.
It's really great. It's very jazzy, and that's one of the things that I have listened to the soundtrack. I'm so mad at you for picking this. I've listened to this soundtrack since I was 14. Like, a lot. A lot.
Well, actually,
I could have chose Cowboy Bebop, too.
That he was going to choose it, and we were going to be like, aw.
I thought one of our... I would almost pick Parks and Rec, but I knew that you would pick it, so that's why I didn't pick that show.
Yeah.
Aw, you guys are so cute. Like, you just like agreed so well. Well, mostly Kitt agreed so well with you, Melissa.
That is our relationship.
No, I feel like she searched in my soul, and she tricked me in a tricky trap, and then she used Sucker Punch. All the damage.
I am a master
One hit KO.
manipulator. But
Okay, so we're locking that in?
Yeah, we're locking
Yeah,
it in.
Trigun. I'm in. I love Trigun.
Trigun, the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So far we have Princess Mononoke as our movie, Parks and Rec as our TV series, and Trigun, the soundtrack as our album. And your final choice, which you each get to choose separately.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Your
so
final
you
meal.
can't lose, Kitt.
You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
lose.
Cannot lose.
Oh,
Watch
yeah.
it be like,
Oh,
Melissa,
well.
your meal's way
Hold on.
better than mine.
Hold
I'll
on.
just have what
Oh,
you're
I'm
having.
that. Yeah, I'm having that.
We're definitely going to have a discussion about this Bobby Flay scenario. Hold on.
No, you get a meal each.
Oh, yeah, I know we get a meal each.
Okay.
But, Melissa, please, if you will, unleash.
we have very strong feelings about Bobby Flay. That he's
Very strong.
a fucking bastard.
Fuck you, Bobby Flay.
Okay, Bobby Flay has a show.
This is
Yeah.
news to this podcast. And
Really,
nobody
it's
has
not?
Nobody
I
likes
didn't
Bobby
listen.
Flay.
Dude,
Do you
fuck
want-
Bobby Flay.
This is
Oh, my
why.
God.
Why?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Bobby Flay has a show called Beat Bobby Flay, where he goes to like locally owned, like town favorite restaurants. He's like, "Oh, the whole town loves you. What's your thing? What do you cook?" And they're like, "I cook pancakes." And he's like, "I'm about to outcook pancakes on you so hard." And then he throws down on them in their own yard and like makes their patrons come and pick between their two foods. And then he always wins, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah,
Any
you fucking
episode-
bastard,
okay,
Bobby Flay.
I get you.
Son of a bitch.
I've seen that show,
That's just a bit of fun.
Wait,
It's just a TV show.
though. But what's so funny is that you say that, and I've seen that show, and the episodes that I've watched, Bobby Flay loses.
Good.
Really? Good. Fuck that Bobby Flay. Listen, also, one time, okay, let me tell you guys, let me give you a backstory. I used to go out and eat a lot with my mom and my sister, and we would go to either Longhorns or Applebee's all the time. And one time, Bobby Flay was like, "Oh, I'll guest menu your Applebee's." And then every single time you ordered some stupid shit off the menu that was like Bobby Flay themed, he'd piss all over your fries with some kind of stupid gravy or lime juice, whatever that shit that was. That didn't taste good, Bobby Flay, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna say this though, you were at Applebee's, so how
I
good
get it. It was good back then. It was good then.
He always tries to get me to go to Applebee's.
Listen, not always. Just like every now and then, I'm just throwing out there as a joke. Applebee's is shit now, okay? Applebee's, you need to get it back together, baby.
Okay. That was very impassioned.
Yes.
But he'll cook you anything.
Tendies.
He doesn't.
I just want chicken tenders, Bobby Flay. Don't piss on my fries either.
All you want is tenders, so he's not going to make you fries.
No, tenders and fries.
Okay.
The full meal, and don't piss on those fries.
That's literally your last meal.
I'm really mad about the fries.
Any desserts?
No
Oh,
starter.
yeah.
starter.
No starter? I can get a starter?
You can have as much as you want.
You can have
Okay,
anything.
I want from Bobby Flay, you better not fuck this up. I want from Longhorns
Oh my god.
the shrimp boat. Okay, it's really good. It's got shrimp. It's got peppers. I think they put ranch on the side now to dip in it. It's so fucking good. Okay, I'm not fat. I just want to eat Longhorns. Okay, I'm done. Kill me.
He wants Longhorns, a steakhouse, and he's getting shrimp and chicken tender.
When you put it like that, it's very funny.
Melissa, please don't pick a chain restaurant food. Just make a meal.
I am not picking a chain.
Melissa, he will cook you anything. Just choose something.
That's good to know he'll cook me anything because my meal actually has some payback to Bobby Flay and also satisfies a lifelong fantasy of mine. I've always wanted to eat a little bit of human.
There you go.
And my app,
Oh.
I want it to be Bobby Flay Parmesan. I want little medallions of Bobby Flay's leg, because you know that leg meat's got to be the best. And I want medallions of Flay leg breaded in Parmesan and panko
Oh my
with
God.
a little bit of marinara and Parmesan on top.
Who did I marry?
Okay, Kitt.
Melissa! This is my last chance to eat human flesh unless I eat my husband.
No, that's the question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Kitt, you're sleeping. I'm scared that she's going to take a knife to your throat and cut a bit to eat.
Maybe,
She's got a taste of Bobby.
maybe not my throat, but maybe my buttock. Somewhere that's extra. I don't feel like she wants to kill me. She just wants to taste
I'd take a
it.
bite of that ass. There's a lot of ass
Oh
there. He'd
my
be fine. Okay? You could eat a little bit of somebody and then not die.
She's right.
I do have a backstory on why I want to eat human flesh, and it is because in my youth, like, they used to come to elementary schools and, like, send you book trailers. Like, it'd be a little video about all the books that are going to be at the book fair, and one of the
Elementary school
books,
Melissa.
one of the books was about, it was a ghost story about a guy who burned his finger in a fire and put it in his mouth to cool it off. And he tasted it. It tasted so good that he kept doing it until he became a skeleton man who then haunted people and ate their flesh. And I was like, damn, must have been pretty good if you ate your whole self.
I read a story in one of the scary storybooks where somebody ate someone's liver, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I'd eat a human liver. That sounds delicious. So I get you.
What are these kids' books doing?
I don't
They're turning all Americans into cannibals.
People are afraid of video games, and really they should be looking at children's.
Literature is turning people into cannibals.
And so after my first course of Bobby Flay Parmesan, I would want a huge ass piece of prime rib, medium rare, mashed potatoes and gravy, like all the jus that was left. I want all of it, like a whole baguette to dip in the jus, and I don't know, green beans, like get some green on the plate. That's what Mother Crane says.
It's your last meal. You don't need vegetables. You
A
can.
last meal?
And-
We're just getting on a spaceship.
I'm not
Yeah,
having
but the rest of
vegetables.
your meals are just going to be like freeze-dried space food.
Okay.
I prefer that.
Actually, no green beans, macaroni and cheese. I'm going all carbs. And
So you can sleep for a while.
then for dessert, I thought a lot about dessert, and I thought about like fancy things, like wow, you want like a delicacy, but ultimately, I don't think any dessert could be more satisfying than a hot brownie sundae.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's up there.
Yeah.
Brownie a la mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be my meal, and then to drink like a really good cocktail, like a cocktail called A Walk in the Garden at Night. That cocktail. It's a fancy
It's
cocktail.
not a real one. She's just
No,
saying.
actually, it is a real
Oh.
cocktail.
Really? Where
And
who makes that?
It's at the world famous in Athens and Georgia, and it is a gin and like some cucumber and some. It's a really like refreshing cocktail.
So all of your choices have been made,
Locked in.
locked in. Before you head off, we just want to ask you a few more questions.
Uh-oh.
2 more. You are given one last opportunity to back out and perish with everyone on Earth. Do you take it?
No. Fuck that. Dance yourselves to death from the K-pop, you artards.
I'm now the queen of dancing K-pop, and I will take my throne in space.
There you
Man,
go.
that's a lonely trip.
But
Oh,
also,
shit.
I feel very
she picked
confident
everything.
that we're going full Star-Lord and we'll be interacting with alien civilizations.
Yeah. I think we're
that
going to be
can
interacting
happen.
with aliens.
That
I think
can
it's going to
happen.
happen.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I've got hope in my heart.
So,
Final request. You have to perform a song from the album that you chose. So I don't know how you're going to do that. Is it instrumental, all of it?
It
I'm
is,
guessing.
but we can do it, you know? We can do it.
Do whatever you have to do, but
All right, are you
Without
ready? Let's
Make
just
it
do
shine.
the theme song of Trigun.
Hold on, I'm chewing some of these candies. Hold on. It has to take a long time. I have to chew these a lot. There's a lot in my mouth. You got some, was that water?
No.
Oh, shit.
you don't need any more.
Yeah, I don't need any more alcohol. Hold on, I'm chewing candy. Hold on. What candy do I have in my mouth?
Jelly tots.
Okay, cool, Jelly. These are good. These are good.
I like that they're called jelly tots.
It's cute, eh?
It is.
We're gonna have to get 50 of them sent over to these people.
All right, Melissa, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
what
let
song
you.
are you doing?
We're gonna do the instrumental theme song of Trigun.
Okay.
Okay. Here are Melissa and Kitt singing the theme song from Trigun.
There's a little bit of that.
We might want to do that again after we listen to it.
We need to hear the whole thing now.
Wait, yeah, can you play it so we can hear it?
I have it downloaded.
That was the best one yet.
And there you have it. That is the end of episode 4 with Kitt and Melissa of No One Can Hear You Stream.
Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thanks, guys.